Today we have 4 pink squares that we need to work out the area of. We've only been given one length of 26 meters, so we're going to need to use angles to help us. Let's start by marking some right angles. We know that there's a right angle on the square, another on the bottom of the pink stick, and a third in the bottom left corner. And let's label the 2 angles either side of the stick, alpha and beta. On a straight line, the angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So 90 plus alpha plus beta must equal 180. On the small triangle, we have angle alpha and a right angle. So the third angle must be beta to add up to 180 degrees. And similarly, in our larger triangle, we have angle beta and a right angle. So the third angle has to equal alpha. We can now label the sides of the small triangle, x, y, and z. And since x is the length of one of the squares, and the hypotenuse of the larger triangle is 4 squares long, we can say that the hypotenuse of the large triangle is equal to 4x because our triangles are similar. We know this because the angles match. So the scale factor we apply to the hypotenuse, we can apply to the other sides of the triangle too. So we have 4x, 4y, and 4z for the large triangle. We can now create equations by looking at the side lengths of the square. The right side of our square is equal to 4y, and the left side is equal to z plus 26, so we can equate the two. We can then create a second equation by looking at the right and bottom sides of the triangle. We can see that 4y equals 4z plus y. Subtracting y from both sides of our equation, we find that 3y is equal to 4z. And dividing by 3, we find that y equals 4 over 3z. We can then substitute this value for y into our first equation to give us 4 times 4 over 3z equals z plus 26. 4 times 4 is 16, so multiplying out those brackets, we are left with 16 over 3z equals z plus 26. Multiplying both sides by 3, we get 16z equals 3z plus 78. We can then subtract 3z to give us 13z equals 78. And 78 divided by 13 is 6, so z equals 6. Now that we have a value for z, we can substitute it into our y equation. 4 over 3 times 6 is 24 over 3, and 24 over 3 is just 8. So now we have values for our y and z, and we could create another equation to solve for x. Using Pythagoras, we could say that x squared equals y squared plus z squared. But we can see that we have a 3, 4, 5 triangle, so we immediately know that x is equal to 10. And now that we know x, we can square it to find the area of one square, and times it by 4 to give us the area of the stick, giving us 10 times 10 times 4, so the area of the stick is 400 meters squared.